The controversy surrounding Waymo and its self-driving cars has grown into one of the biggest debates in modern technology. And the most recent incident, another serious accident that resulted in someone losing their life, has pushed the conversation to a point where people are no longer just concerned, they're genuinely alarmed. For years, autonomous vehicle companies have promised that their technology would make roads safer, reduce human error, and save lives. But each time one of these cars malfunctions in the real world, it feels like we're watching the exact opposite happen. What's making this latest situation even more upsetting is the response from Waymo's leadership, especially the CEO, who seems completely unwilling to acknowledge that anything went wrong on their side. Instead of showing empathy, accountability, or even the slightest hint that the company might need to rethink its approach, the CEO continues to repeat the same carefully polished corporate statements about how the future requires bold steps, as if the human cost of these accidents is nothing more than a minor inconvenience in the grand scheme of innovation. That attitude has infuriated people across the world, because it suggests that real human lives are being treated like disposable data points in a giant tech experiment that the public never agreed to be part of. As more autonomous vehicles appear on public roads, people are starting to question whether this technology is truly ready, or whether companies are rushing it out simply to stay ahead of competitors in the AI race. Critics argue that while Waymo's AI is impressive in controlled environments and ideal conditions, it still struggles with unpredictable real-world scenarios. Complex intersections, unusual human behavior, sudden obstacles, or chaotic weather patterns, things that human drivers constantly adapt to instinctively. When a human makes a mistake behind the wheel, we hold them accountable. But when a machine does the same thing, the blame is often diffused, redirected, or lost in a maze of corporate language that makes it sound like no one is responsible. And that's exactly what many people find so disturbing. The idea that a multi-billion-dollar EU corporation can deploy experimental technology on public roads, allow it to operate in ways that can lead to irreversible consequences, and then walk away from each incident without facing any meaningful repercussions. The CEO's dismissive comments about how accidents should be seen as necessary steps toward this mindset has sparked widespread outrage, and not just from everyday people, but from safety experts, engineers, lawmakers, and even some members of the tech community who believe that innovation should never come at the expense of human well-being. Many argue that Waymo's approach shows a dangerous combination of overconfidence and detachment. Overconfidence in believing their technology is more capable than it actually is, and detachment in failing to see the real human impact these failures cause. It's becoming clearer to the public that companies like Waymo are operating under a philosophy that prioritizes being first to the future, rather than being responsible, transparent, and genuinely safe. While their marketing constantly promises a world where self-driving cars reduce harm and make travel more convenient, these repeated accidents paint a much different picture. A picture where everyday people end up carrying the risks while big tech companies collect the rewards. What makes everything even more frustrating is that these companies continue to pitch themselves as pioneers solving a global problem, when in reality, some critics feel they're creating new problems just as fast as they claim to be solving them. The idea that innocent people could be hurt or lose their lives simply because a company wants to test how well their machine handles a complex road layout or an unexpected scenario is something that many people find deeply unsettling. We're told that the AI learns from each failure, but the question that keeps being asked is, should these lessons be happening on real streets, with real people placed at risk, instead of within controlled testing environments designed for safety? If a company wants to push the boundaries of technology, that's fine. But when the consequences directly impact the public, then accountability becomes not just important, but essential. The CEO's refusal to take any responsibility is only adding fuel to the fire. Instead of acknowledging that the technology may need stricter oversight or more rigorous testing, he continues pushing the narrative that society must simply accept these incidents as part of the transition toward a more AI-driven future. That type of thinking makes it seem like the company is prioritizing progress over people, statistics over safety, and ambition over accountability. It raises a much bigger question about the tech industry as a whole. Have we reached a point where innovation is moving so fast that companies believe they can bypass responsibility entirely? And if they think they can do that now, what happens when AI becomes even more powerful, complex, and deeply integrated into everyday life? People are waking up to the fact that AI development shouldn't just be about speed or competition. It should be about trust, responsibility, and long-term safety. But trust is impossible when a company refuses to acknowledge its mistakes. Responsibility is meaningless if no one is willing to accept it. And safety becomes a vague promise instead of a guarantee when the public sees real-world consequences caused by machines that were supposed to prevent harm. This latest Waymo incident has become a symbol of the larger problem. Tech companies acting like they're operating above everyone else, testing unproven systems on a public that never had a say in whether they wanted to participate. More and more people are asking why these companies are allowed to use public streets as their training ground instead of closed facilities or simulated environments where mistakes don't harm anyone. They're asking why a corporation can blame rare edge cases every time something goes wrong, instead of admitting that maybe the technology isn't as capable as advertised. They're asking why leaders in the tech industry appear so emotionally removed from the consequences of their decisions, almost as if they see the world only through charts, metrics, and future projections, rather than through the lived experiences of real people. The truth is, technology can absolutely make the world better, but not if the people creating it stop valuing human life in the process. Innovation should never require society to simply accept harm as part of progress, especially when that harm could have been prevented. When a company's desire to advance AI becomes more important than its duty to protect the public, then it's not progress anymore. It's negligence disguised as ambition. And the fact that Waymo's CEO continues to publicly defend this mindset shows just how disconnected the company has become from the reality of what these accidents mean for families, communities, and anyone who shares the road. The public deserves more than excuses. They deserve accountability, transparency, and a tech industry that recognizes that responsibility isn't optional. It's the foundation for trust. Until companies like Waymo understand that, these incidents will continue to spark outrage, fear, and skepticism. And people will keep questioning whether we're driving toward a better future or being driven there by corporations that forgot the value of the human lives they're affecting along the way.